Forget alternate uniforms. It was more like an alternate universe here on Owen Field on Saturday. Just 3 years ago, the Sooners were impervious at home, having rattled off 39 straight wins in Norman. It had literally been forever since Baylor had beaten Oklahoma here. But none of that mattered on Saturday, as the Bears danced all over Oklahoma, handing the Sooners the worst home loss of the Bob Stoops era, 48-14.
Let's go. Get him compete.
Quick! Let's go! Things actually started out reasonably well for OU, as Trevor Knight found Micaiah Quick for an 8-yard touchdown midway through the first quarter. It was Quick's first touchdown of his career, and with Sterling Shepard out with that leg injury, Quick led the Sooners with 94 receiving yards. 4.5 minutes later, Knight found Deron Neal for the 9-yard touchdown, and the Sooners led 14-3 very late in the first quarter.
It felt good, it felt we had the momentum on our side. We just tried to add more fuel to the fire and, try to keep the crowd into it. And, we thought we had them on the edge of the seat and, we tried to kick it down. But, they're a good team and they responded well.
That's where the wheels fell off, as Baylor scored 3 touchdowns before the half. Bryce Petty proved he was indeed ready for OU as he completed 32 of 42 passes for 387 yards and one 33-yard touchdown pass to sophomore receiver Corey Coleman, who had a record 15 receptions against OU for 245 yards.
Just do what you can to try to make a play, to flip that momentum. It's kind of hard today, but they got to come from somebody. Somebody has to make that play, especially on the defense. We got to get a turnover or something, to cause that momentum again.
Meanwhile, Trevor Knight struggled once again, completing only 12 of 27 passes for 146 yards with the 2 touchdowns, but one virtual pick-6 interception. Baylor linebacker Bryce Hager took it back all the way to the 1-yard line, and 2 seconds later, Baylor had scored. At the end of the day, Baylor had scored 45 unanswered points, and adding injury to insult, Trevor Knight was taken off the field on a cart after being sacked on 4th and 2, with the Sooners trailing by 27 with 11:11 remaining. After the game, teammates said Knight was up and walking around and that his prognosis is good, which is more than can be said for the Sooners season.
We didn't play very well today, and they played really well and beat us. So that's where it's at.
Bob, were you happy with your players' effort in the second
half? Effort, yeah. Where our execution was poor. There wasn't anybody out there stopping, quitting. That isn't the case. Anytime that is not the case. The guys, again, we didn't execute very well and got whipped.
Well, there's so much stress on your defense when you play Baylor, and it's not only the scheme, it's the players that make the scheme what it is, and the matchups become very difficult, and you kind of which way you want to die sometimes. Is it slow? Is it quick?
Don't pay attention to the outside noise. There's no doubt. But at the end of the day, preseason predictions, where you're at today, what you were called last week, what you're going to be called next week, you have no control over it. You have control over what you do when you step inside this building every single day. This is something we talk to our players, preach to our players every single day, and we're going to find out what type of, what we're made of.
The last time the Sooners lost back-to-back home games was 1998, the final year of John Blake's tenure. So maybe it's not such a bad thing that Oklahoma now hits the road to play at terrible Texas Tech at 2:30 on Saturday. Reporting from Owen Field in Norman, Damon Fontenot, News OK Sports.